Welcome to another Maz Play video. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be getting into something new, another zen-like game, very relaxing, and this is going to be the pilot episode. We're playing Wildmender. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're jumping right in here. So I played this game for a little while just to kind of test the water and test out how to play. But basically, from what I gather, you are starting off in a desert world, which used to be a vibrant, green, forested, covered area. But something happened over time, and a lot of the plant life and just the greenery kind of disappeared. So in Wildmender, it's almost like a very chill garden, rebuild the forest type game. So as you can see, we're starting off here with just a little bit of water. Now the water comes out of these magical stones here that somehow they're pulling water up from deep underground. And over time, you'll be able to unlock some features to increase the water flow and therefore spread out how much of the sand is getting soaked. As you can see by the sand, some parts of it is dark, some part is light. That tells you how much water is being absorbed by the sand. But basically what you're going to be doing is and there is kind of like a hunger and thirst level in this game. You do have to eat and you do have to drink, but you're going to be following the tutorial. There's like a floating little glyph like thing that talks to you and kind of gives you mini quests, mini objectives, which appear in the upper right. As you can see, collect and drink water is what we're working on. This game can be played with a keyboard or with a controller. Whether you're playing with a PlayStation controller or a Xbox controller, it doesn't really matter. But I personally prefer to play with a controller just because it's just a lot easier to move around. So as you can see here, a lot of the plant life that you're dealing with, you can kind of move it around, reposition it. But the key point is to keep that plant life watered or keep it in areas that it would be happy to be in. So as you can see, there's a lot of information on that screen down below. It tells us we're moving a dead thorntail, so it actually already went away or didn't survive. There is a way to bring back dead plants, but that's a little bit more in the future. But I'm just basically trying to give it water. I'm following along with the tutorials. But these plants are spread all around. Here's some root beard fungus. You can examine it. It kind of gives you an idea of what it yields and how much water it needs. As you can see, I watered that plant and it's not dead, so it quickly turned green. So it was just a little thirsty. And yeah, looking around here, you'll see some orange glowing things on the sand. Those are usually seeds or just different things you can pick up that are really small. You also see a lot of sticks on the ground, stone. You'll get different types of metals and ores on the ground. So all these things you will need for crafting, because there is crafting in this game. But everyone starts off at this giant magic tree, I guess, if you will, which has no leaves on it right now. But over time, as your oasis grows and your soil quality grows, that tree will get some leaves on it, and it will be a very nice lush little garden area around here. But For now, we all start off with this little desert area. As you can see, I have my bars there. The blinking bar means I'm starving. I got 2 out of 30 on my food level, so I can definitely start looking around, pick up seeds or any kind of food to keep me going. My thirst level is full. I got 50 out of 50, so I don't need any water right now. And I have some armor clothing on right now, which I can upgrade the colors and the style in the future as I play. So we're still working on the objectives, which is right now gather 5 wood. Sometimes you got to walk around a bit of the desert and try to pick up those things, but the good thing is a lot of the quest items appear with a nice glowing green outline around them, so you kind of know, hey, this is important to pick up. So we turn in our quest objectives to this guide spirit, which I guess there are a bunch of nature spirits involved in this game that you will meet over time, but to start off, that is the one that is pretty much guiding you. Now what we want to do is try to, okay, so first thing, we're going to build a workbench. We have all the items we need, and it doesn't really matter when you put this workbench down, you can move it. For now, we just need to find a decent spot. Alright, so here's fine. So we just deployed that, and now when we interact with it, we'll have a lot more items we can craft as far as options. And as we play, we can unlock more items that we can craft. So wooden sickle is going to be good for harvesting plant life instead of you harvesting it by hand. And then you have other tools, consumables, and trinkets that you'll be able to unlock over time. So as far as what I am trying to do right now, I'm just going through the objectives in the upper right. I still have to get some wood, still have to get some plant fibers. Everything that I need to interact with is glowing green, so I can use that sickle to kind of hit this wood and chop off some little pieces of lumber, and to the point where the dead tree disappears. And then I can go ahead and bring that back to the workbench to do some crafting. But right now we're just trying to finish this little mini quest. Now your bags do fill up pretty quick, but over time you will unlock the ability to have bigger bags. So that is just something, inventory management is something that you have to deal with in the game. Alright, now ultimately what we want is that nice patch of brown soil, as you can see around some of the plants. We want that spread all the way around the tree and all the way out as far as we can, because the better the soil quality, the better the plants will be able to survive. That just means that they're getting the water they need and everything. And what we're doing right now is we're just digging down. What we can do is dig little channels to allow the water to go from the tree and spread further out towards the edges, you know, the outside ring of the tree, which will allow us to plant even more bushes and stuff, which will spread the soil quality further and further out from the tree. So you will do a lot of digging in this game, especially when you're trying to route water. And you will also do a lot of planting. You will be moving plants around to try to spread out the soil quality. And the more you do this, the more you're going to get some experience. I haven't left here yet, but eventually you will be traveling around and meeting spirits, which will also give you more capabilities as you play. So as you can see here, I can either raise or I can lower the soil. The little green circle kind of tells you if you're raising it or lowering it, because the edges will bend in or bend up. So obviously you want to dig down so that you can get to the water. The further down you dig, the more likely the water will start coming up through the soil, and you'll see some wetness appear. Some plants like it really damp. Some plants do not. Some plants like it kind of dry, but not too dry. So you just kind of got to pay attention to the needs of the plant and whether it's a good spot to put it or not. Sometimes you also see little rings as you put them down. They'll either be green or yellow or red, and that kind of gives you another indicator whether that's a good spot to put a plant down. depending on the type of plant and what type of soil quality it likes. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with the tutorial. You're going to see a lot of running around, a lot of picking up, a lot of digging, and a lot of planning and moving. But that's going to be pretty much the gist of the game. Very relaxing game, but I'm going to keep my comments to a minimum unless I need to explain some key points. And we'll just roll through trying to meet as many objectives as we can and hopefully bring this dead world back to life. So by the way, these cactus, if you put water on them, they actually grow a nice little red fruit on them, and that's one way where you can eat. But also you notice as you're pouring water, little plants and shrubs grow around them too, so that tells you how thirsty the ground is to add more plants. So we're flashing red right now because our hunger level is zeroed out, so we need to eat some of these fresh cactus fruit that we just picked. So now we're back up to a decent level for the hunger. And of course, as the plants grow, they produce seeds or they produce fruits, which you can go and pick and turn around and eat or replant in other places to kind of really grow out your garden from the tree. The tree is always going to be your center and your focus, and it's also going to be the supplier of water. You will run into other water sources as you explore the desert, which you can just turn around and repeat the same process in growing gardens in other locations as well. But for now, we're starting here because this is where our main starting point is, and this is where we'll have a giant tree. So here it's telling us to start working on making a mirror, and some of the components you need for the mirror and involve copper. So that giant stone you saw there with the red lines in it, that is a copper stone. You can't really mine the copper stone, but around it will always have glowing markers where there's pieces of copper that chipped off and you can pick up. Okay, so we have enough materials for the copper mirror, so we went ahead and bought that and created that. And now saying let's go ahead and practice using that mirror. The copper mirror is basically a weapon, so you're going to be using that to fight off bad guys and spirits and stuff that attack you. You're going to be using it to reflect things, so it's basically your first weapon. So one thing that'll really slow down your thirst level, like dropping down really fast, is a lean-to or a tent. So you definitely want to find a nice spot for that. Trying to see if I could put it next to this tree, but usually I try to find like a nice little shaded wall or something to put it in. And then that's how you can not only save the game, but you can kind of sleep and try to beat the heat on the really hot parts of the day, because that really drains your water really fast, especially if you're out traveling. You'll die of thirst pretty quick. So it gives you now the option to rest till dawn, and obviously when the sun's down, that's the best time to go exploring, and that's also the best time to see some pretty nice looking plants because they really stand out. All right, so with the sun down, now you're going to start seeing some glowing purple lights over the plants. That's just basically telling you there's some essence there that you can capture. When you build certain things in the future, they're going to be able to harness and capture a lot of that essence, which is used to help speed up the growth of plants and the fruits that they produce. So that's important. The green spirit there is one of the many spirits you can talk to. They come in different colors, from green to purple. I think blue is one of the colors, I'm not sure, but each of the spirits have a different specialty. So talking to them, listening to their story unlocks different skill trees, different paths and stuff like that. So this green one is a survival spirit. And as you can see, you'll unlock a lot of knowledge or wisdom for the survival track. There are 3 to 4 tracks in here, and each spirit gives you points, experience points towards those different tracks. All right, so here are those tracks I was talking about. Survival, arcane, and spiritual are the 3 tracks. As you do little missions or talk to the spirits and you complete their missions, they will give you a point in whatever track they specialize in. So in this case, I helped out a green spirit, which is survival, and I got 1 point to go ahead and apply towards that tech tree. And they just kind of hang out. Most of the time you only see the spirits when the sun goes down or the sun is going down. When the sun is at full brightness, you won't be able to see the spirits. So you really only can talk to them at sundown or dawn or dusk. So there is a map feature in this game. Kind of gives you an idea where you are with the yellow drop, teardrop looking shape. The question marks are really your destination and objectives that you want to go to and explore. Those usually will have either these kind of spirits, depending on the different colors, whether it's survival, arcane, or the other one, survival. Or they'll have more like water veins, these magical water rocks, where you can like dig them out and start new gardens in other places. Or they're just key points of interest that you need to go explore to advance the story. So an interesting thing you'll see also is the spirits of the dead plants, the dead trees. Right, during the day you just see their trunks, but at nighttime you actually see what their leaves used to look like. Now you can bring those trees back together eventually, but for now in the nighttime is what you can see how they would potentially look if they were alive or brought back to life. Now these imprisoned spirits, you will have to go around and unlock them. That basically will start off kind of a mini boss fight. It's not really a boss fight, it's just like a mini fight with one of the bad guys, and by beating these guys they give you a ton of XP and some goodies, so you definitely want to fight these whenever you get a chance. You can use the mirror to basically reflect back their attacks. All you do is you just keep moving. As soon as they shoot at you, you hurry up and use that mirror and you just bounce that attack right back to them. So it's just a little mini timing game. Usually they telegraph their attacks by doing that. They'll lock onto you with a red laser, and then you'll see a ring of red appear slowly, and then you just gotta time it just like that and bounce back that attack right to them. 1 or 2 hits of bouncing back their attacks and they disappear and you get your reward. So that in a sense is kind of like the boss fights. You will get these random raids where you have to use your magic mirror, but the fighting is going to be a little bit different. There's still some reflection in there, but you'll be able to do some other things to fight. So by doing that, beating those kind of red crystal mini bosses, you're always going to get a piece of this blue spirit guy that you're going to bring back to him, and he's going to remember more and give you more helpful tips, as well as more destinations for missions to grow your character and the skills for that character. And as you can see, the tree is also going to level up. As you can look at the ground, you can actually see as the water flow continues, the tree is going to expand that brown soil further and further out, which will allow you to put more plants down. In the background there, you see like a vine covered device. That's a teleporter, and you will be able to unlock that too in the future as you find other teleporters. That will be kind of like your fast travel system for the game. So these are the kind of upgrades you can do for your water stone in front of your tree. Some of them require different levels, or they're locked for a minute, but eventually they become available. But basically, some of the things you can do is like increase the water flow, increase how fast the water's coming out, how slow it's coming out. And that all is going to determine how deep the water gets and how far out it spreads, so that you can plant more bushes, more trees, more plants in the outside edges of the tree, which will basically expand your garden and make more areas brown with soil instead of light tan as desert. So we got a journal here. It kind of gives us a summary of all the different missions we completed and that we have available to us right now. It's a obviously you have the exclamation marks over the head of the guide that you can talk to and get more missions from the guide. It also has good information on the different plants that you're going to find, and the type of soil quality they need, how much water they need, etc. So we're running in this direction. As you can see, there's a bunch of red fireball lights in the distance. Those are more of those little mini bosses that we fought, where we just basically reflected back their attacks to them. So we just want to go in those directions, fight more of those, and therefore we're going to unlock more skills and stuff to do. Your character can climb up walls, so even if you see a pretty steep wall, don't worry about it. You can just climb right on up, get to the top. As you can see, our objective markers are marked green at the top. We're got to get up there, so that is gives us a good indication that we're going the right way. You will find a lot of these abandoned houses where people used to live. In fact, a lot of the spirits still kind of like walk around in these abandoned houses, and you can talk to them there. Now we need to get up there, so that's going to require us to do some climbing, but for now we just kind of stopped and took a break. Also, those abandoned houses are a good shade cover if you need some cover from the sun. That's a good way to get some cover when the sun comes out. So we're passing a lot of dead trees here, and because we're seeing how they used to look, but we can definitely do that. You will have a lot of random ancient chests around the map that you can open up and get some pretty decent loot from. And here's another spirit. This one is an arcane spirit, that's why it's purple. So you can talk to it to get like the mission that it's need. It usually will give you a little task. You listen to their story, and then it will give you some essence points, and there you go. You just unlock a new arcane memory, which comes out to be like more points that you can put towards something in that skill tree or arcane. Now some skills just need 1 point, some skills need more than 1 point, so it just really depends on the level of the skill you're trying to unlock. So we're still going to try to make our way over to that green marker on the top of the mountain, try to climb up and try to finish this objective, but we might as well explore while we're out and about. Okay, so we made it up to the top of the mountain, or the little plateau here. As you can see, there's some copper there, and as you can see, there is some these are like little mini enemies that shoot lightning at you. So what you can do is you can just keep avoiding lightning bolts, and you can shoot them with your magic mirror. Your magic mirror like shoots some sun bolts at them or something like that. I don't think you can block their lightning attacks. I think the blocking is only really for the boss fight, the little mini boss fight. So we're going to try to get closer, and we're going to start that mini boss fight. As you can see, there's some dark spots on the ground. That is poison. The more you stand on it, the more damage you're going to take. And you will run into these guys often. They actually do raids of these guys, but they telegraph their attack patterns with the red markers on the ground. They're pretty easy to kill, so just go ahead and take them out, and we still got to make our way up towards that target so that we can meet the mission objective and unlock a new piece for the spirit guide. Okay, so our food level is low, so unfortunately we're going to have to eat some things that's going to decrease our water level, but sometimes you'll have to make those judgment calls as you play this game. And right up the hill from us is the mini boss that we have to fight. But before we challenge that mini boss, we're going to go ahead and put a bookmark in the video. Really like this game. It's a very chill, relax garden type game, and really hope you like it too. So as usual, I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps out the channel. And we will see you in the next video.